Hi, everybody. Hi, how you doing? How's it going? How's every little thing with you? I hope that Yahweh has give you many blessings or barakot. Been finding out our English language is really a mess. I'm trying so hard not to say certain words because they're a mess. They don't mean what they always say they mean. I mean, words are a mess. Our English language, we have a word, there's words that mean four different things. There's words that anyway, we're a different rabbit hole. Okay. What we're going to do today is read chapters 48 and 49 of Sirach. That leaves chapters 50 and 51. Finally, after a year, I'll be finished reading the book. Life happens and I get busy. So, anyway, without further ado, get to reading the book. Okay. Chapter 48 of Sirach. This is a really big book. Then Eliyahu, the Navi, stood up as fire, and his word burned like a lamp. He brought a severe scarcity of food upon them, and by his order he diminished their number. By the word of Yahweh he shut up the Shamaim, and also brought down fire 3 times. Oh, Eliah, how you are esteemed in your wondrous deeds, and whose esteem is like yours, who raised up a dead man from death, and his being from the plain of the dead, by the word of the Most High, who brought sovereigns to destruction, and honorable men from their bed, who heard the rebuke of Yahweh of Sinai, they call Sinai as Sinai, and the judgment of punishment in Horeb, who anointed sovereigns to take vengeance, and Nevi'im to succeed after him, who was taken up in a whirlwind of fire, in a chariot of fiery horses, who were ordained for reproofs in their times, to appease the wrath of judgment of Yahweh, before it broke forth into wrath, and to turn the heart of the father to the son, and to restore the tribes of Yaakov. Baruch are those who saw you and slept in love, for we shall surely live. It was Eliah who was covered with a whirlwind, and Elisha was filled with his ruach. While he lived, he was not moved by the presence of any prince, nor could any bring him into subjection. No word could overcome him, and after his death, his being Nava. He did wonders in his life, and at his death, his works were marvelous. For all this, the people did not repent, nor did they depart from their sins, till they were plundered and carried out of their land, and were scattered throughout all the earth. Yet there remained a remnant of the people, and a ruler from the house of David, of whom some did that which was pleasing to Yahweh, and some multiplied sins. Hizkiyahu fortified his city, and brought in water into the midst of it. He dug the solid rock with tools of iron, and made wells for water. In his time, Sennacherib came up and sent the Ravashachi, and lifted up his hand against Sion, and boasted proudly. Then their hearts and hands trembled, and they were in pain as women in childbirth. But they called upon Yahweh, who is kind, and stretched out their hands toward him. And immediately the Kadosh One heard them out of the Shamaim, and delivered them by the service of Yeshayahu. He smote the army of Ashur, and his messenger destroyed them. Sometimes the names will throw you for a little loop there. For Hizkiyahu had done that which pleased Yahweh, and was strong in the ways of David his father, as Yeshayahu the Navi, who was great and trustworthy in his vision, had commanded him. In his time the sun went backward, and he lengthened the sovereign's life. He saw by an excellent spirit what would come to pass, and he comforted those who mourned in Sion. He showed what would come to beat the end of time, and secrets before they came to be. Chapter 49. The remembrance of Yoshiyahu is like the composition of a perfume that is made with the skill of the perfumer. It is sweet as honey in all mouths, and as music at a feast of wine. He acted uprightly by instructing the people and took away the wicked abominations. He directed his heart toward Yahweh, and in the time of the wicked he established the worship of the Most High. All except Dawith and Chizkiyahu and Yoshiyahu were wicked. Wow, that's pretty sad, isn't it? Out of all the kings, only three. From Dawith to to Chizkiyahu and Joshiyahu. Wow. For they forsook the law of the Most High, did not follow the Torah. Even the sovereigns of Yehudah failed. Therefore he gave their strength to others, and their esteem to a foreign nation. They burned the chosen city of the Mikdash and made the streets desolate according to the Nevuah of Yirmiyah. For they treated him evilly, who was yet a Navi, Kadosh in his mother's womb, that he might root out and afflict and destroy, and that he might also build up and plant. It was Yechezkel who saw the esteemed vision, which was shown to him upon the chariot of the cherubim. For he remembered the enemies under the sign of rain, and directed those who went rightly. And of the 12 Nevi'im, let their remembrance be Baruch, and let their bones flourish again out of their place, for they comforted Yaakov and delivered them with true expectancy. How shall we recall Zerubbabel? Even he was as a signet on the right hand. So was Yeshua, son of Yatsadak, who in their time built the house and raised a Kodesh Hechel to Yahweh, which is prepared for everlasting esteem. And among the elect was Nehemiah, whose name is great, who raised up for us the walls that had fallen, and put up the gates and the bars, and raised up our ruins again. But no man on the earth was created like Hanok, for he was taken from the earth. Neither was there a young man born like Yosef, a governor over his brothers, a support to the people, whose bones were regarded by Yahweh. Shem and Sheth were in great esteem among men, and so was Adam above every living creature in creation. Yeah, there you go. Times that we're in, it's very serious, the times we're in. Very serious. And I still, wonder how many take the Most High serious. I mean, I have to tell you that I've been changing, and I'm still changing, and I'm still trying to throw my old self away. It's not an easy job. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do, to throw away what you've learned your whole life. I mean, and everything we've learned in our lives, which is not of Yahweh, is absolute nonsense and crap. And I'm going to say it that way because it is. Everything that man has put into our heads, that the thrown out of the Shamayim have done. I mean, we know a lot of nonsense. We don't really have a lot of information unless you pick up the sword, unless you pick up the sword, because only here are you going to find the truth. You're not going to find the truth anywhere else. Okay? You're not. That's just because Hasatan, it's not Satan, his name is Satan, and there's more than one of them, but the one that misled Hawa, our mother, because she was the mother of all living, that's what her name means, led her astray, and got her to do what she shouldn't have done. And then Adam did what he shouldn't have done. So here we are. But the Most High, before he said, let there be light, before he, he already knew, saw the end from the beginning. So, Right here, he saw the end from the beginning. Before he said, let there be light. And that light is Yahusha, his son. And that darkness are those that were thrown out of the heavens. Shamaim, heavens. They were thrown out. The Kodesh messengers kicked their butts, threw them down here, and here they are, and here they're stuck. Okay, they still have their powers, but they look awful now. They're not like they were, although they can make themselves look beautiful if they choose. But the fact is, they're down here. And then you have the rich and powerful. And the reason why they're rich and powerful is because they're disgusting. They're greedy, greedy, greedy. They will do anything to keep their position. And why do they have this position? Because of what? Wealth. They can print the money as much as they want because that money means absolutely nothing. Money in your pocket, money, money, money. They have made that so that one day they can do absolute total control. Well, you got to have money to live. You got to have money to eat. You got to have money to drink. You got to have money to use the bathroom. You got to have money to go anywhere. You got to have. Catch my drift? Yeah. Sorry about this rant, but really sit and think about stuff. And don't just fill your head with whatever. Pay attention to what you fill your head with. Pay attention to what you see, what you hear, what you speak. Pay attention. Because one day, it could be 100 years from now. It could be 500 years from now. It could be longer. It could be shorter. It could be tomorrow. I don't know. Only the Most High knows when he's had enough. Only the Most High, Yahweh, knows when that day, that great day, when he's had enough of their appointed time has come to go away, then the spit's going to hit the spam and things are going to really be different. And I praise Yahweh for all that. So, you guys take care, and I'll see you next time.